The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. It's 5 a.m. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. We begin with some developing news from overnight. An ATV rider is dead this morning after crashing a three-wheeler into a pole. The crash happened in North Bakersfield shortly after midnight. This is along the train tracks near Golden State Avenue and the Kern River. Our viewer says he saw police putting a tarp over a body. We're still waiting on official word from investigators.
Turning to another deadly accident in Bakersfield overnight. A man was crushed to death while working underneath a car. This is on the south side of town on Adelaide Avenue. Police say the car fell on top of him after the jack somehow gave out. The sergeant on scene reiterated the importance of using quality jack stands and floor jacks and necessary safety equipment when working on a vehicle.
In our 17 follow-up file this morning, a gift from the California City Police Department to the family of Desiree Thompson, a woman who went missing more than a decade ago before her remains were recently found in her killer's backyard. The killer was sentenced earlier this month.
On behalf of the police department, please accept this so that way you can begin the healing process and you can always look at it and know that justice was served.
Thank you.
Cal City Police Chief Jesse Hightower presented Thompson's children and her mother with the handcuffs they used to arrest Jose Lara, the man who killed Thompson more than a decade ago. The case went unsolved until Thompson's remains were discovered just last year. Lara was arrested after a man and his father came forward and told police he had bragged about killing a woman years ago. Chief Hightower says the department never stopped looking for Desiree's killer.
This right here means everything. I can't bring my daughter back, but this will go right up there next to her. And this shows that never to give up. Don't give up hope. Don't give up faith. God answered all my prayers in one day.
Lara was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. And a Bakersfield man accused of yelling racial slurs while threatening workers at a Burger King will spend 16 months behind bars. Rodney Rusko was sentenced yesterday after pleading no contest last month. Prosecutors say he shouted white power and hurled racial slurs at the restaurant's Hispanic workers while holding a knife. The workers locked themselves in an office after Rusko started breaking things and jumped over the counter. He won't spend much more time in custody as he's already been in jail since his arrest last year.
This morning, the man behind the wheel in a deadly crash that killed 3 people on New Year's Eve in 2020 will begin his sentence. Adam Teasdale allegedly drove under the influence when he crashed into a tree on Brimhall Road near Liberty High School. The crash happened just minutes before the new year. 3 passengers were thrown from the car and died. Teasdale allegedly had a blood alcohol content of more than twice the legal limit. He pleaded no contest to all charges for a 6-year sentence. But given time he's already served, plus custody credits, Teasdale will spend about 6 more months behind bars before he is released.
After a relatively cool June, Kern County now on track for a dangerous heat wave this weekend with temperatures expected into the triple digits. 17's Michaela Armstrong has tips on how to stay safe and keep your cool.
We're used to these hot temperatures here in Kern County, but it always sneaks up on us.
According to Kern County Public Health's Michelle Corson, it is time to get prepared for the first heat wave of the summer, or it could have dangerous consequences.
Over 700 people every year lose their lives due to heat-related illness. This is serious, and if you don't pay attention to the heat and respect the heat and pace yourself, you can become ill, and this is very dangerous, especially for our more vulnerable populations.
To prepare for the heat, Corson says to stay hydrated, cool, and in air-conditioned areas. However, many look for affordable ways to stay cool, like city spray parks, which are closed Tuesday and Wednesday this week, affecting many families.
We don't have much here in Bakersfield as far as like going and getting wet or like going and like cooling off. But you know, that was something that he really looked forward to every time. So the fact that it's closed and then like temperatures like climbing, it really kind of is like, what are we gonna do now?
We pulled up and we're like, well, where's all the kids? Where's all the water? So yeah, I feel bad for people who affordable options, there's not a lot of them.
But Corson says that is why during heat like this, you must get creative.
You can get creative and spend time with your children indoors. You can go to a movie. You can go to a public library. You can go to the mall. These are areas that are air conditioned.
Michaela Armstrong, 17 News.
We turn to our coverage of the Sierra snowmelt, and water levels in the Kern River continue to rise at this hour. The Army Corps of Engineers shut off the flow from Isabella Lake into the Kern River yesterday in order to perform maintenance on the dam's outflow conduit. The procedure is very similar to actions taken in late April to inspect the power plant at the dam. Once the water was shut off, maintenance crews worked inside the tunnel for about 3 hours trying to determine the source of what was described as a cavitation noise in the conduit. And the Corps of Engineers reopened the gate and they gradually increased water releases throughout the day. Now, this video was taken around 10 o'clock yesterday morning, and these photographs were taken by County Fire. And you can see these photos right here were taken by County Fire, and you can see the dark shading on the rocks. That's where the water levels were before yesterday's inspection.
Local animal shelters are preparing for a huge influx of dogs scared off by fireworks this 4th of July. And they're already bursting at the seams and in desperate need of short-term fosters. The City of Bakersfield Animal Care Center is housing nearly 300 dogs with only 175 kennels. Shelter staff says they need rescues, adopters, and fosters to help get at least 200 of these dogs out of the shelter before next week. Yesterday alone, 40 healthy adoptable dogs were euthanized because there simply is not enough space for all of the animals coming in. If you can help by adopting or fostering until the holiday, reach out to the shelter on South Mount Vernon Avenue. All supplies are provided. You just need to open up your heart and your home.
Making headlines around the state this morning, a major illegal firework bust in San Bernardino. Police seized between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds of illegal fireworks from a home. A neighbor alerted officers about the stash. Investigators evacuated 48 homes while they removed the explosives. They are now looking into where the material came from and where the fireworks are being distributed.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.